Today I'm going to review the action sci-fi thriller sequel Jurassic World Rebirth, starring Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey and Mahershala Ali. So, what's the film about? A covert team's mission to collect dinosaur DNA for a life-saving drug turns deadly when they encounter mutated dinosaurs and a family hiding the island's dark secrets. Excitement level. To be honest, it's actually quite high and I really don't know why. The last Jurassic World film was really quite awful and I was done with this franchise. But when I saw the trailer for this one, it told me that let's bring it back to a simpler story and let's bring back the scares for the dinosaurs, because that was kind of missing in some of the previous entries. What I also find quite encouraging about this film is it's directed by Gareth Edwards. Now, he brought us Rogue One, and one thing his directing style is known for is bringing that epic sense of scale. You can see some of that in the trailer, you can see that in his other films, and I'm sure he's going to bring it in this film. It's written by David Koepp, who gave us the screenplay for the original Jurassic Park. And today I'm in screen one, so now I'm just going to go in, find out what the movie's like, and let you know my thoughts after the movie. Okay, so just come out of the screening, so let's get into it. Let's start with the highlights, and then we'll go into the hang-ups. So let's start with the two new additions to the dinosaurs, and that is the Mutadons and the D-Rex. Both were good, both were scary, and they weren't overused. I mean, the D-Rex isn't in it that much, but they kind of tease it, and then when it comes back towards a later part of the movie, I think they just used that just the right amount. I really quite enjoyed the whole abandoned science research island. This story took its time. It gave you time to get to know the characters before it put them in any sort of danger. So by the time we got there, you were actually fearing for their lives when they were attacked by the dinos. They definitely brought the scare factor back to these movies, which I really appreciated. I actually put my hand over my mouth going, oh no, he's gonna get it. Of course, there were a couple of characters you knew the dinosaur was gonna get their hands on them, but I'm thankful to say it wasn't the case for every character. What I thought was really well done was some of the set pieces, like the T-Rex attack, which was good because they actually brought the fear factor back for the T-Rex. The Mosasaurus and the Spinosaurus attack was really good fun. I loved that part. Could have just focused on the scare factor, and they didn't. They actually had those moments that you had in the original film where you were in awe of the dinosaurs. You know, there's a part with I think it's the Titanosaurus. That is known as the largest dinosaur to ever exist. And I had a moment with that where our character, Henry Loomis, it was a nice payoff moment for him and a really nice moment for the series. I think what a lot of people will like is the fact that they took this back to a nice, simple story. The cast, the performances were all really good, and what I touched on was the fact that these were characters you got to know and you got to care about. Hang-ups. I think what was a little disappointing was some of the CGI work. It's about 50-50. Half of it was really well done. The T-Rex looked great, but there were a couple of moments where the CGI looked a little bit ropey, and it kind of just took me out of the moment for just a second or two. What I think I would have liked to have seen is just a bit more inclusion of the practical effects with the CGI, just especially on the close-ups of the dinosaur, just to sort of help you believe that that dinosaur was really, really there. Probably the only other problem I would say I have with the film is probably some of the decisions the characters make. It was almost like, are you trying to get yourself killed? But to be fair, which Jurassic film doesn't have a moment where a character makes a stupid decision? Final rating. So I like the new cast, I like the new story, and I like the fact that when it finished, it didn't lead into anything else. It was a self-contained story. I had so much fun watching this film from start to finish. So I'm going to give Jurassic World Rebirth 4 stars. If you found the review helpful and enjoyable, please press the like button and do consider pressing the subscribe button so you can be notified when my next video goes up. Thanks again, I'll see you in the next video.